Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I'd like to do some work on this quite big broom shaped field maple, and well, a year ago I repotted this tree, and I said that this was the front, but I'm not too sure about it. Well, this tree can have two possible fronts when you take the trunk line in consideration. So this is a trunk line with a little movement, so that looks nice. And of course from the back you'll have the same movements. And if you turn it this way, well, it's rather straight, so it's less interesting. And of course when you do this is completely disastrous. This straight, and then this branch comes right at you. So, well, the front is going to be something like this or something like this. That's kind of obvious. Now this branch is not a problem, it can be removed. It's just staying here because it is providing these two grafts here. So I thought this was the front, but I'm not too keen about this big pointy part here in the top. I'll zoom in and show you what I mean. So the top part of this tree was removed here, and then I'm left with this and this pointy part, and I thought, well, this can be an interesting top because, well, one branch emerges from here, and I can build a top with that. So that's, of course, it's still a possibility, of course. But on the other hand, since I grafted these two branches here, I think that this is better. This is now a top, a potential top with some movement. Of course, it should be brought back even a little more to this position, but I don't want to move it too much because the grafts are not completely set here. They will probably be this year, but well, okay, so well, I think I can use this as a top. It will be more elegant. I have a little secondary trunk here then, so I might change my idea. But then you see that we have some curve that goes inwards. Now if I turn the tree like this, it's of course the same turn, but it's coming to us, and then we have this problem here. Which this branch should come, well, more out. Well, that's also a problem. So I can try to get it out a little more, but that's not going to be easy. But it would be better if I had a branch starting from here and a branch starting from here. So I can wait until something grows there, or I can do something, and I prefer to do something. So I'm going to leave the tree as it is now and have a look from a distance. Maybe first show you the root base from this angle. So this is the root base then, and I think that's not bad. Let's zoom in. We have an acceptable root base here. Of course the tree is covered in moss. I'm lacking a root here. It's not a big problem, it's field maple, so I have plenty of opportunities of grafting one root here, so that's not a big deal. And from the other side there are roots. This is a quite consistent root. This is good. This is a root that can come a little more out of the soil. This one. So yeah, I think that the root base from this angle is okay. I even think that I might tilt the tree a little like so, and then the root base will be even better. So yeah, with some distance now. So this is the tree with the front as I see it now. So this branch is not really a side branch, it's side back, which will be interesting. I can still use this branch when I remove the grafts to make a back branch, so that might be interesting. So yeah, I think this is a good option. Yeah. Now, I said that I would like to have a branch coming from here and maybe one from here. So I think I'm going to try to graft these two branches in these positions, and that might be interesting, because the first thing I want to do today is remove the wires, because we always see wiring videos, but you have to unwire your trees also, and this is a maple, so when it starts to grow, it's going to have very quickly problems with the wires cutting in. So I'm going to remove all the wire now, because it has to be done. And as you see, I'm just getting the wire off, and I'm not cutting it off. No use to cut it off. And then you have some twisted wire, but if you unwind it piece by piece, you can get it fairly straight again. And then you just have to, and this is already 2.5 mil wire, so yeah. And then you get it between your fingers, or you take a piece of metal like one of your pliers, and you can get it quite straight again, and it can be reused. So that's not a bad piece of wire. So I'm going to get off all the wires of the tree, and then, well, we will proceed. So I'm looking at the grafts now, and one of my major problems is that this should come really a little more like this, and maybe it's just a good idea to separate this graft, but I will have to be very cautious, because I don't want to separate this one. But maybe, yeah, I think it's loose. Yeah, it's loose. Okay, so if this one's okay, so that I can leave this one, but this one should come a little more like this. So I'm going to make a incision here with my Dremel tool, and then I'm going to put this one deeper in. So of course this will be a setback for the whole grafting process, but I think in the long run it's going to be much better. I need to make the cavity here bigger. So let's do that. So from a close-up it was here, and then you see that this branch is coming inwards, but if I manage to get it here, it's going to be a whole lot better. I hope this makes sense. So in order to get it here, I will have to cut a piece of this trunk off. So I'm going to block that here. That looks good. So now I'm going to come in with the Dremel tool. I'm going to get the mic somewhere else for the noise. So I think now I have the room to put this here, which will be better. Not completely. I still have this part and this part that is too big. So I'm going to try to take this and then get a piece of this out, the middle part, I mean. So the junction between these two parts. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, look, this is much better. So of course now I will have to find a way to block this. And this of course I will need wire or something to start with. So let me get some wire. I really like the position of this branch much more now. It's much better. Yeah. So I have a little stump here that I think if I can anchor my wire on this stump, but if it's a dead stump it might break, so well, I'm not sure. I'm going to put my wire around it. And twist the wire anywhere, I don't care, because I'm going to clamp it with a hose clamp, but I really need it to be in a good spot before I use my clamp, so that will do the trick. If I loosen it, let go, it doesn't move. So that's good. So it should be something like here, and I think that this is going to be possible. Yeah. So another thing that I wanted was maybe a branch here. So maybe I can include this one here. Can it be done? I think it can. And if this branch grows, it's going to close the gap between these two parts, which is of course even better. And maybe I need a little piece of wire to hold it in this position. So I'm going to take a little piece of wire. I think that this is 1 millimeter. And I have two buds here, which might be interesting. If they open, they are going to cause a rapid swelling here. So how should I do that? Maybe try to anchor the wire around this branch. Or maybe first do some wiring here. I think I might do that. Might get tricky. And then take the wire here so that it's well anchored. So that stays in position, but now I have to give it a little bend so that it gets up. Yep. The thing is, I don't want anything here because I need to put back this hose clamp. So that's the next thing I'm going to do, is fix this with the hose clamp and then secure the whole thing. But first of all, I'm going to wrap it with raffia. So just going to use a single string of raffia here, and it's dry because I don't really need compression, just need to protect the bark. always leave a little piece, because otherwise you're gonna have some difficulties making a knot. So it's just for bark protection. Yeah, well, it's always something when you start a new growing season and then you change your mind about the front of a tree, then you end up doing hocus pocus. So that's enough. And this is where the little piece on the other side comes in handy. Okay, just gonna cut it now, like so. And I'm going to use my clamp now. It's the one that came off last video, I think. So I'm not going to tie it too hard now, because I might want to move it a little and maybe put a little piece of wood here to be sure that this comes a little bit forward. I made a little wedge that I might include here to give it a little more direction, but I need to find something now to hammer it in. So this is the little wedge. It gives this branch this little movement. And now I can fix this. Might need some oil. Well, it's gonna be okay. A few extra millimeters, and this is going to be nice and tight. Okay, so this is the front, and I'm kind of liking it. This branch now has, well, a good movement. Might even be better if I can get it here. So I might use a wire to do that, but I'm not sure. Okay, I'm just going to leave it the way it is now. And the branch that I'm trying to graft, like so. Okay, well, I hope this works. So this is now the new front, and well, something is kind of obvious, that we don't have a whole lot of green here. Yeah, well, that's rather obvious. Of course we have some small branches here. I think that I'm going to have to balance this thing a little more, so I'm going to get rid of quite a lot of the material here, like so. And this will be a better, I think. And I think it would even be better if the top came a little more like this. So maybe I can just, yeah, this is a small wire, it's not gonna do the trick, but maybe if I use it more as a guy wire, or maybe double it, it's going to be a whole lot better. So if this comes here in the front, that would be cool. So how can I do that and not use a too big wire? Because I don't like to have wire on deciduous trees in the growing season. It's well, always a problem. They bite in so fast. So I prefer to use a guy wire. And if I can just fix the wire here, it would be even better, because this is a stump that is supposed to go in the future. So I think that's the best option. So if something, well, no harm can be done here. Yeah. Now, of course, this is a little bit of an eye poker, but it's going to be fine. Yeah, let's have a look from a distance. This doesn't look too bad. I even think that this might become the leader, and that I can get rid of this whole portion here. So I'm going to get rid of that, and this will become the new leader. Yep. So that's even better. Okay. Good. So now for the ground part.